Welcome back to Rising. Let's get into your first morning brew on this Friday, Junior. Now, if you're headed out for some spring travels or even planning your summer vacay, this brew topic is for you. A post on the Neighborhood Talk this week asked their followers to confess just how early they actually get to the airport before their flight. According to Harriet Baskus, founder of StuckAtTheAirport.com, you may want to abide by the rules of arriving early because airlines are continuing to pack those flights more and more full. So therefore, your chances of landing a spot on a later flight, if you miss your original one, could be slim to none. Answers ranged over on the Neighborhood Talks Instagram as users confessed their airport truths. One person said they arrived 30 minutes before their flight every single time. Yikes. And on the opposite end, someone said, "Baby, I am Haitian. We are arriving on Tuesday for a Wednesday flight." And on our Facebook, You at Home also revealed how early you're getting to the airport. Bobby Keiser says 3 hours. I hate being stressed out about catching a flight, and once I'm through security, there is always a bar to pass the time. While Mitch Harp says it depends on the airport. If he's flying out of Charlotte Douglas, he's getting there 2.5 hours early. But if he flies out of a smaller airport like Florence or Columbia, South Carolina, he gets there an hour early.
Okay.
So what kind of travelers are y'all? And both of y'all are in relationships too. So then I feel like when you start dating someone, you learn they're traveling, you know.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So-
For me, I'm pretty last minute, but like I don't cut it too close. I
Yeah.
normally would get to Charlotte Douglas with TSA pre-check, no checking a bag, like an hour ahead of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
An hour before the flight leaves. So then you're like 45 minutes to half an hour before the flight boards.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is fine. Like
Yeah.
that's not a painful time in the airport, but I cannot spend a lot of time in the airport. I do not enjoy it.
Yeah.
I get a little anxious the longer
Yes.
like I like the excitement of an airport for a second, but
Well,
the longer I'm
yeah.
there, I'm like, oh my gosh, get me out of here. You know?
I'm surprised you're not with the people spending the night before looking at the planes coming. He is such an aviation guy.
I do love it, yeah, but it's just there's just so much. I like a smaller airport because
Right.
Yes.
there's not as much hecticness, there's no chaos. But you know, I flew out of Charlotte Douglas a couple weeks ago, and it was unlike anything I'd ever seen. Like I
Chaos,
walked in, I was
yes.
like, is it even worth going on the
I
trip?
know.
It's getting bigger and bigger all
Yeah,
the time.
it was
Yeah,
awful.
it is. Rachel, I'm with you. I do have TSA pre-check. I think that helps a lot. If I didn't, I would so if I travel with my mom, we go to New York every summer. And I have to get there like 2 hours early if I go with her.
Yes.
And it's so annoying because you never know what you're going to get. I will say though, Nicole actually introduced me to this. There is a Charlotte Douglas app. And I downloaded that as soon as I moved here because she told me about it.
Yeah.
And you can check the security line. So that helps a lot too. But yeah, typically an hour before TSA pre-check, my boyfriend, he is ready to be there on time.
Oh
and
really?
Always
He
wants to
strikes
be
me as that
there.
type of guy. Yeah.
Mine is the exact
Very type A.
opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
Also type A, but like he'll get there like 30 minutes before the flight. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's fine.
Yeah.
That's crazy. One of my best friends, Maggie, I'm going to call you out. She is notorious for getting to the airport like as they're about to shut the plane door.
Okay.
You know, like she's
Yeah.
always posting in her Uber or Lyft on the way there, like, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not going to make it. But
Right.
somehow she always makes it. I don't
does.
think she's ever missed one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, yeah, just the older I get, the less time I'll spend like spending just waiting around. And,
Sure.
you know, I feel like I
Yeah.
get a little anxious. I'm like, just get me out of here. So yeah, the older I get, the more and more close I cut it. But
So what's the time?
I usually like to be walking in an hour and 20 before the flight
I think
leaves.
that's a good
not bad.
time.
Yeah. So that way you have about 30, 45 to get through security. If you got to grab a bottle of water or something for the flight, you have
Or a
time to do
mimosa.
that. Or a little adult cocktail to, help make the flight easier, less stressful.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time to do so.
right,
All
good
right.
stuff.
Well, coming up in your next morning brew, if you could permanently switch the price of anything in the world to just $1, what would it be? Let us know on Rising's Instagram or Facebook, and we'll share our answers too with you at 8:15. But for right now, Nicole, it's over to you for a weather-wise update. Has Miss Ruby flown yet? What's the?
She has.
Okay.
She has flown, and just like her mom and dad, we were there with